Real quick, we've had some people show up since we started this, so I'm just going to, if I can have everyone come on in and fill the seats too, come on in, and we got plenty of seats up here. We, basically because an actual invitation was sent to Bob Goodlatte for this town hall meeting, and he did decline it. So the next best thing we figured was to go ahead and hold the meeting anyway and record our message to him. So this is what this is, your opportunity to say your statement, your question, and then we will send him the video. So if you've just arrived and haven't had a chance yet, we've had a great statements already made, but please feel free, just come on up and say your piece. Okay? Thank you so much. There's plenty of seats, everybody.
All right, Congressman Goodlatte, I would like to ask you why you refused to investigate the Russia involvement in our election when you investigated Secretary Clinton about Benghazi about 16,000 times. And I also want to know why you continue to push to defund Planned Parenthood when all of the facts that you state have been proven to be wrong. And I think that you are not representing the 6th District and you need to be voted out.
Representative Goodlatte, it's been 3.5 years since you've come to actually hear what your constituents have to say. When we hired you, voted you into office, and you took the oath of office, it was to protect and defend the Constitution and represent us in Congress, not to protect and defend the Republican Party and a tyrannical toddler named Trump, who is president, and pass every legislation that for the majority of people doesn't agree, whether it is feminine issues or all the other issues. And I'm particularly shocked that you would try to do away with that ethics commission, and you started that even before, so that you had it all ready the morning everybody got sworn in. If you can't find the time, if we're not important enough for you to come and hear us, then maybe you're not important enough for us to vote for and return you to office next election. Thank you.
Well, hello, Congressman. I'd like to talk just a little bit about Obamacare, also known as the Affordable Care Act. I work as a nurse consultant, and therefore I must purchase my own health care insurance. I'm also a cancer survivor, which means I have a pre-existing condition. My health insurance was expensive before the ACA, and it remains about equally as expensive now. I understand that the ACA is not intended to be a bargain plan, but instead a plan to help lower-income Americans like those who do not qualify for Medicaid. I am grateful that at least if I develop a catastrophic illness, I won't go bankrupt. As a congressman, I am not certain you understand my circumstances or those of people like me, but I know you support the total repeal of the Affordable Care Act, so I am asking what you will be offering to replace it with to help Americans like myself. Thank you.
Congressman Goodlatte, I have a quick question for you. Do you believe that the free press is the enemy of the state? If you don't believe that, then I wonder why you didn't speak out against that when the President mentioned that the other day at a press conference. Thank you.
Hi, Representative Goodlatte. This is Steve McDonald from Harrisonburg. I called you a couple of times. I'm very concerned about the Russian interference in our presidential election. Now, we know they interfered in our election. We know that the president's people were speaking with the Russians. We need an investigation to find out the extent of the Russian intervention in our election, who knew what, and when they knew it. And we're depending on you to find those answers for us because we can't find them ourselves. Thank you very much.
Hello, Mr. Goodlatte. My name is Dee Graham. You've heard my name on your phone quite a few times as well. I would just like to encourage you to come home to talk to real people, people who are not intent on undoing all of the progress we have made toward a more just society that values each individual equally. Your recent actions of a midnight attempt to dismantle ethics oversight, your apparent direct assistance of a ban that will profoundly impact your own district, and your dismissal of Gutierrez from a meeting where he clearly belonged suggests that you are aligning yourself with a dictatorial inner circle that does not have the values of this country and of your district in mind. Perhaps you have a good reason for this beyond power and greed. Please explain your motives and reasoning. This is your job.
Bob, you may remember me as the city editor of the News Record when you originally ran for office. And I know there are a lot of people in this room who don't remember it. Maybe you don't either. That you ran as what we used to call a Valley Republican back then. They were not like the Tea Party, angry, hating people that have taken over your party in recent years. They were more the moderates, the people you could talk to, the people you could get along with. You ran as one of those, and I shouldn't even remind you that you ran for 12 years and you've been in there a little longer than that. Just wanted to remind you that you believed in ethics when you ran for office, at least you said you did. You believed in term limits, or at least you said you did. And you believed in the principles of welcoming our neighbors that we love here in the Valley, or at least it seemed like you did. When you have some spare time, after your next town hall, because I know that's going to be your first priority, I hope that you'll sit down and look at your own tapes and read your own stories from 1992. Try to remember what it is that you ran on. Thanks, Bob.
Hi, Congressman Goodlatte. My name is Chuck Nichols. I think I have a hunch on why you don't feel it's necessary to visit the 6th District. I think it's because you have 85% of your money for your campaign coming from outside of the district. So if you could explain to us why that's not the case, and maybe we can get together and discuss it. Thank you.
Yeah, Mr. Goodlatte, my wife and I have lived here only since August, so we've missed most of your long service here. But we're very disturbed about the stance you're taking on many current questions. And I'll just speak about one that we've had some familiarity with, which is the question of fear. That we've been under presidents who have used fear as a way to ram through whatever they want and make whoever wealthy they want to out of it since 9/11, but really for a long, long time before that. It has never been at a point perhaps as high as it is now under President Trump. It is an absolutely foolish and destructive way to be a politician, to serve people. We can look around at other countries that are reaching out to immigrants, that are taking refugees, that aren't putting them through what this country puts through. Do you think you could pay attention to that? There's so much that is right there in front of people. If you will go and look at it and learn it. Thank you.
Mr. Goodlatte, my name is Ruth Joes. As I understand it, a Republican presidential candidate was in conversation with Russia, not unusual, but with Russian intelligence persons during the time of a campaign. And at the same time that those Russian intelligence people were hacking an American political party to distort an American election. This is an outrage. You're an American. You're our representative. We have to have this independently investigated, and we are looking to you to please do that for us. Thank you.
Hello, Congressman. You might remember me from last fall. I was the last person to be on stage with you at a public event. I think maybe the only one in the last 3.5 years. And I just want to tell you some things that I'm worried about. I'm worried about war. I'm worried about people's civil rights. I'm worried about the environment. I'm worried about the working class. I'm worried about people's social security. I'm worried about refugees around the world seeking refuge here. I'm worried about people my age that are more accomplished than me, that have a similar story of getting to the United States when they were 6. That's what happened to me. My dad was German, my mom happened to be from New York, so I was born into dual citizenship, but there are people here in this area that are my same age that got here when they were 6, and now have DACA status that they can't trust anymore. I'm worried about you feeding the flames of hatred that are fanned by Donald Trump, and you are, by extension, implicated in fanning those flames of hatred and keeping all these things going. When you stay silent on the crazy things that Trump says, the hateful things that he says, you're implicated in that. And unfortunately, we have to rely on you to represent the better part of the values here in the 6th District, which are working class values and values of justice and hard work and caring about your fellow human being. And some people say those are Christian values, some people say those are just working values or Muslim values or Jewish values or whatever. The point is that they're human values, and we think that you've been disconnected from those types of values. So all you need to do is show us that that's not the case. You can just tell us where we're wrong, but you don't even do that. So those are just some of the things that I'm worried about.
Hello, Mr. Goodlatte. My name's Teresa. I call you almost every week. And if you want to call me, it's 917. You might wonder why I have a 917 prefix. That's because I used to live in New York City. But I came to the Shenandoah Valley. And now I am horrified that you are in support of pipelines that are going to ruin the beauty. You're going to be supporting companies that are going to be transporting fossil fuels through pipelines. I came here looking for support for the beauty that we know is here. Please oppose pipelines. Oppose these companies that are transporting fossil fuels in our beautiful state. Thank you.
Mr. Goodlatte, my name's Mike L. Lane. I live here in Harrisonburg. I have a simple request. I would like you to come to any of these town hall meetings, as you've called them, and speak as a statement. When you have come to them, what I've heard you say are simply Republican talking points. I would like you to think about your entire constituency. It's a simple request. Again, I would really appreciate if you could start acting like a statesman rather than just a mouthpiece for your party leadership. Thank you.
Congressman Goodlatte, hello. My name's Lauren Huber. I live here in Harrisonburg, Virginia. I want to talk to you about my concern for the polarization of politics. We do not live in the extremes that politicians are legislating. The bulk of the people here in your district do not support such polarized views. You say that you bring and represent your district, but how do you know that when you won't talk to us or listen to us? I have been blocked from your social media. I have form letters responded to me when I write you, or if I call you, I'm just said, okay, we'll let them know, but I never receive any sort of response. Our hope is that you protect us as our congressmen. And I think whether we're Republican or Democrat, we all have that same desire. Whether it's the environment, you guys, you're hurting our air, you're hurting our water. We just want to be protected. Being in the pocket of the NRA and accepting their push towards unreasonable gun laws, I am a gun owner, and I do not support the gun laws that you guys are passing. So please, listen to us. We are here, and we are real people with real concerns. Please come and have a meeting with us. Thank you.
Congressman. Chris Muller from Harrisonburg, we've met before. I have a lot of things that I want to say to you, so I will try to keep it short and sweet. I once heard you say that you proudly represent the conservative values of the 6th District of Virginia, and I'm here today to tell you that the rest of us have things that we believe in too that are important issues to us. And there are some of us in this room that care about preserving this planet for our future generations and for protecting the rights and expanding on freedoms for LGBT individuals and for women's rights and for immigrants' rights and allowing kids to get out from under the weight of student debt. There's a lot of things that are really important to us too, and you represent us too. And I think that it's time for you to show up and listen to us and try to meet us somewhere in the middle instead of hiding in your cave per the usual. Thanks.
Good afternoon, Congressman. My name is Matthew Wade. I'm a constituent of yours in the city of Harrisonburg. You and I probably disagree, I can guarantee, on just about every single issue. So I will just limit it to one, which would be the rights of people to actually vote and participate in the democracy. And I would just like to read an excerpt from Coretta Scott King's statement on our current Attorney General, Jeff Sessions, on why he should not become Attorney General. The exercise of the franchise is an essential means by which our citizens ensure that those who are governing will be responsible. My husband, Martin Luther King, called it the #1 civil right. The denial of access to the ballot box ultimately results in the denial of other fundamental rights. For it is only when the poor and disadvantaged are empowered that they are able to participate actively in the solutions to their own problems. We still have a long way to go before we can say that minorities no longer need to be concerned about discrimination at the polls. Blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, and Asian Americans are grossly underrepresented at every level of government in America. If we're going to make our timeless dream of justice through democracy a reality, we must take every step possible to ensure that the spirit and intent of the Voting Rights Act of 1965 and the 15th Amendment to the Constitution is honored. The federal courts hold a unique position in our constitutional system, ensuring that minorities and other citizens without political power have a forum in which to vindicate their rights. Because of their unique role, because of this unique role, it is essential that the people selected to the federal judges respect the basic tenets of our legal system, respect for individual rights, and a commitment to equal justice for all. As chairman of the House Judiciary Committee, I find you lacking in your commitment to equal justice for all. You allow the Voting Rights Act, Section 5, to basically disappear, which has allowed voter suppression to become the law of the land, and I think you should be ashamed, and I'm just very disappointed that as a son of the 6th District, I don't have someone I can be more proud of. Thank you.
Representative Goodlatte. My name is Tom. My current vocation is as a Rockingham County farmer. We've had the privilege of meeting fairly consistently over the last 10 years, largely wearing a different hat on issues of immigration, border security, and the right for dignity and human mobility. Of late, the meeting with ICE and the acting director of ICE that became an invitation-led only meeting further reinforced the nature of democracy as I've experienced it with you, that it is consistently an invitation-only experience. Your presence in the 6th District is noted that you host invitation-only country club events with civic and community leaders that in essence then summarily denies the rich base of informal community leadership in the broader civil society. I don't know the rules anymore. What it means to show up and live your life awake and to seek to redress policies gone wrong as it's exercised in meeting with your staff in the Hill. You come, you schedule a meeting, you lay out your list of grievances, and then you parlay what your alternatives and proposals for rectifying problems are. It's been a brick wall. To carry water from the southern border and border counties coalitions, to put names and faces and stories to people, it hasn't worked, it's not working. Can you tell me how one can find a seat at your table, your exclusive table of democracy, and what it means to be welcome there? What price does one have to pay? Because we're all paying a price for democracy that has just been summarily shut down, and I need to know the rules, Bob, and if you could just share those with us in our district, that would be a helpful next step. Thanks.
Be comfortable, go to the Mason Street office as often as possible. Somebody mentioned that they went to talk to them one day and that the people commented that they were sorry that the floor was so dirty. They'd never had so many people coming through. So it's great. There is, there's more of a movement happening, and we want you to be a part of it. So thanks so much for coming, you guys.